Howdy folks, I'm back. How are we all? Sorry it's taken a while. I've wanted to get this video out a bit sooner, but Easter, had a gig, got a bit sick, everything, life gets in the way. But anyway, we'll keep the ball rolling, and this track I've got coming out on Tronic is due on the 9th of June, and I thought I'd just give you another little snippet as I'm describing a few techniques that I've learnt in the last year or so in the studio, and have sort of leveled things up a bit and helped me get these tracks across the line. So I'll just flick over to the computer, and as I'm describing this first plugin, which is a genius plugin by Adapter called AB Metric, it's a reference tool, so at any point in time you can just hit this big button and compare your track to some other track that you've found that really works. I typically take tracks out of my sets that I've used that I know sound great, and I use the lossless version of Beatport, AIF or WAV. And each slot down here, there's 12 of them. I just put in one per key, so major and minor keys, and at any point in time you can just flick between the two. This is my track, and you can see we layer them across each other and have a listen to the other track, can compare the two. I've currently got this isolated to the sub, so I'll turn that off. So the idea is to compare your track to theirs, see how you're going on the frequencies, any adjustments needed, anything to work on. Likewise, you've got the stereo image and loudness. If you want to check how you're going loudness wise. So I've got a bit to work on there. Obviously this isn't a mastered track, which the other one is. So that's tip number one. Highly recommend that. The second part that I've learnt more so in the last 12 months than prior is this whole concept of mid-side. So these two EQ plugins are on the master bus. So one of the last tasks that I get to do in the process of mixing down. And the idea is to boost and cut the side signal as opposed to the overall left and right as the stereo image. Now I've used ProQ here. I've got two instances. You don't need to use ProQ 3. That's just the one I prefer because it's got mid-side capability. There's plenty out there that have the same, but I find ProQ is a bit more feature rich. It's got a few more tools. And the first instance down here is I've boosted the highs in a few areas on the side channel using zero latency. So that's just a nice, clean, quick and easy EQ. The second one is just a copy paste, but I've put it on linear phase mode, so that when I cut the bass, it doesn't cause any phasing. Now, if there's a plugin out there that lets you do both linear phase and zero latency at the same time, let me know. I don't have to have two of these bad boys running. Anyway, so that's the second tip, and you'll find if you use that kind of technique, it somehow tricks the ear a little bit. It makes the side and the whole track sound brighter and more interesting. And if you do an A-B, a comparison between before and after, it's remarkable how much of a difference it makes. So yeah, definitely recommend that. And there'll be more tips coming up soon, but for now, have a good one. See ya.